Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith of Smith & Black as we're coming into the end of the year, Christmas, shortened week, holiday week, and so this will be the final weekend vid of the year. I've decided to take Christmas off, so we'll do that, but then over New Year's, you got the new macro vid and new weekend vid coming into the new year. So what we do have here is the broadening formation here, higher high, lower low in the S&P SPY. And so what that means on the weekly is we're closer to going 2-2 reversal because we took out the slight high and 2-2 down. So that would kick in below 458.06. So we'll keep an eye on that. If you go to the daily, see this. Once again, higher high, lower low. But if you go to the monthly, back and forth, Doge, doing nothing. So QQQ, a little weaker. We know we've been watching this level, but it just doesn't totally break for us. But now we got an inside week, and we're closer to taking out the downside. So we'll be aware of that for QQQ. Go to Apple, and Apple, after a nice start, whoop, down she goes. And so Apple closer to 2-2 reversal on the week. Here, 2 up by taking out the previous high, 2 down. If we can take out 169.69, we'll see what comes of that. If we go to the small cappers, potential rev strat week was an inside week, pokes down, but we know this thing's just been stuck. The thing that always gets our attention though is this higher high, and to see if we can get all these things to take out the lower low. Right now it's either rev strat upside or continuation to the downside. You're right in the middle of the week, so we'd have to take that out and see what comes of that. If we go to TLT, the bonds. Inside week for the bonds, and once again, once you get toward the middle of the month, you always want to pay attention to Doji's doing nothing, right? So that's what's going on over there. If you go to VXX poked up and then down she goes, and now just kind of in this consolidation area. So we'll see what comes of that. Slight higher high, slight lower low. But we'll go with the market on that. If we go to the Dow Jones Diamonds, this tight triangle business we've been watching here. It's tight broadening formation, higher high, lower low, right? After an outside day, right? These two become an outside day of that. Question is, do we continue this to the downside? So on the month, still slightly green on the month, but you can see like 4 months of doing nothing, right here. And the weekly, closer to a 2-2 reversal, down. 2 up by taking out those highs, not strong enough to go to the highs. And so below here gets my attention, 352.71. If we go to Nike, you're going to see this on the month. Here, shooter month down, higher high, and now slightly down. If we go to IBM, your winner so far. The 3-2-2 monther, and that's still good, above 124.78 right now. And you can see slowly but surely IBM creeping her way back up. So you just want to be aware when you take this out, the potential broadening formation back down. Here's your lower low. Now you have your higher high, so you got to stay up there. If we go to the transports, trannies, not doing much. But you can see here, slight 2 down on that. But once again, when you go to the monthly, you got to see Doji doing nothing. So FedEx been a real biatch trying to get this thing going up in here. And you can see the chop shop and then stop them out and then back in here. So we are going to pay attention. This is going to be important coming into the new year. Continue to watch this big broadening formation. If you go to Rider Systems, you got an inside month and down letter R over there. If we go to the Utes, and Utes still trying to come up here, going to try and take these guys out. So they just came in on Friday, but for the week, still there, but now just right in the middle of the week. And so we're watching that with XLP because we've seen them rotate into some defensive posture when the market comes in a bit, but that's day to day, so that's why I'm on the headset. If we go to gold going inside year almost for sure. And this is stuff we want to pay attention to when we come into the end of the year. So you had your outside week in gold and your daily here, lower low, higher high. So you got your slight broadening formation in here. But if you go to that monthly, you're going to see this. Just doing nothing for months and months and months and months and months and doing nothing. So you don't want to micromanage too much. GDXJ here is still shooter on the month. However, potential the rev strat weaker if they start to pull it up, and you can watch your JNUG, which is also potential rev strat upside, but in general doing a whole bunch of nothing. If we go to FAS, and FAS, the outside week, take out both sides, XLF here, I believe that was still a higher high, but if you go to the monthly, again, doji doing nothing. So just be careful on that. If there's anything over there, Citicorp still having all sorts of trouble here, going towards the lows after what? Triangle the out. 2 up, boom, down she goes. Citicorp having some problems in MA. Still keeping an eye on this weekly broadening formation here. So potential Momo hammer up into this stuff. You can see this has been well defined. We've been watching this for a long time. We'll see. You can watch that with Visa. Go to the XRT. And XRT, inside weak to the downside, which you can see is higher high, lower low. Now you've got your broadening formation to see if they want to come back up on that. And that would be a 322 on the daily, but that's fragmented. Because at Walmart, start off with a nice week, and then the good part is you can take this up and then take it down. Not strong enough to take this out, so that sets up the Rev Strat week to the downside. 1, 2. If they want to bring the Walmart in, because we know Target, we've been having all sorts of problems here, and we've known about that on the 322, and that takes it out. These two become an outside bar of that outside bar. So hits magnitude. So we'll see how that goes. And Costco still somewhat your winner here, albeit doji on the month, and just kind of stuck up in here. Exhaustion risk, doji on the week. Let's see. Nope, not quite an inside week. All right, so there's that. AutoNation, not totally getting pounded AN, but does take the inside month to the downside. 5 below here. Shooter 2-2 reversal on the month, still good. If we go to VFC Corp, trying to kick in that Rev Strat monther here and that weekly. Did this. Shooter counters hammer to set that up. So we'll see if anything comes of that. If we go to crude. And crude, inside week for UCO. So either side of that gets our attention. XLE here, a little bit weaker. But you can see the monthlies not doing much, right? So just be aware of that. If anything, Conoco taking an inside month to the downside. EOG. Slight 2-2 on the month, but not too much going on over there. We go to IBB, and IBB trying to go 3-2-2 on the month, but you got 2 weeks left on that, so we know that's fragmented as well. If anything, you go blue, and blue has just gotten obliterated here on the month and the week here, but you can see triangle the out up here and then down here, and if you go to the daily, you can see this. If the death of blue has been greatly exaggerated, you're coming back through this previous range pivot machine gun style. So might want to keep an eye on that if that starts moving again. BNTX goes inside weak. So you can watch that with the Vaxxers, because NVAX here was the 3-2-2 on the week, just hasn't hit magnitude yet. So still looking to see if we can take this out, and that would give us the outside month here. If we go to XLK. XLK, just kind of a doji on the month, not doing much. SMH, inside month, which we knew about, and now here an inside week. So we'll see what the semis want to do off that inside week. If you go to the Facebook, and Facebook, potential Rev Strat downside. Inside week, pokes up, potentially down. As we get closer to the end of the month, we're going to see what this looks like. Hammer counter shooter, or does it get worse off this weekly? If we go to Amazon, and Amazon still handily inside month. And if you go to weekly, I don't think this is quite inside. I'm not sure, but I mean, it's doing nothing, right? Just so you know, back and forth day-to-day operations over there. Netflix took the inside week to the downside, and Netflix is still 2 reversal on the month. Takes magnitude by hitting this. These two become an outside bar of that. The question is going to get worse back down into here. We'll see. If we go to Google. And the gig's not doing much on the month. So weekly, inside week. So we'll see what comes of that. If we go to NVIDIA, NVIDIA's still giving up the goose a little bit. Slight lower low, closer to taking out last week's lows. And still handily inside month, but bright red. So we'll see what comes of NVIDIA. You can watch that with the SMH weekly break. If you go to analog devices, ADI coming down. You can see here potentially in the daily the 3-2-2 if they bring them up, but for right now, that's a 2-2 reversal on the month. If we go to AMAT, And AMAT still handling an inside month, so just be aware of that. But you got your 3-1 weaker, so you can watch that with the SMHers. If you go to BABA China, not doing much, but inside weak. So China a little quiet over there because you got Baidu. Real quiet there too, inside weak. And you've got PDD, real quiet. And JD, a little bit worse. Inside weak to the downside. So JD has got this going on the week, on the monthly. The 322 with a little more magnitude to take these boys out here, down here, 68.46. If we go to Coop, and Coop having a rough month, but they've hit it pretty hard. If they want to bring it back, you do have this hammer week to try and get back up into this stuff if there's any hope. If we go to CrowdStrike, inside week, not doing much, but either side of that. If you go to Etsy, and Etsy goes Momo Shooter down, so we'll see either side of this week, but that monthly still has that magnitude on the 322, 322, and all the way down here if they start hitting this thing. If we go to Groupon, and Groupon, you can see this on the monthly, not doing much, but if you go to the weekly, you can see this here, like so. So if you're going to keep an eye on this, got that inside week, so if it starts running through this, we know where it's going. If we go to HPQ, and a little boring, but it is RevStrat weaker. If they want to take this up, a little exhaustion risk by going into the recent highs, but now you've got your RevStrat setup. If we go to LRCX, more semis, and just the 3-1 week, so you can watch that with SMH. If we go to NET, and NET still slowly but surely walking down, and we've known about this monthly, 2 up, 2 down reversal, and that's still in force. If we go to Overstock, the same. 2-2 reversal, takes all magnitude. All these guys are out, but you still got some down here if they really want to pound this thing. If we go to Roku, and Roku, doji on the month, so not doing much, but if you go to the weekly, you'll see this here. The 3-2 hammer to potentially come back through this stuff if they want to bring her back up. If you go to Splunk, also RevStrat 1-2. See if we can come back through here. You got your lower low. Now we'll see if they want to triangle it back up. If we go to Spotify, also RevStrat setup here, 1-2. If we go to Vive, and Vive inside week, and so let's see if that's a consolidation to continue this inside month to the downside, maybe come down and see these boys down in here. If we go to W, we know the shooter counters hammer is taking magnitude on a lot of this stuff down in here. So if they want to bring it back, you do have weekly hammer to see if they want to try and recover the W. Just a few more ALRM. Here, hammer counter shooter after stopping all these guys out if they want to bring it back up. For the monthly, this thing's been doing nothing forever, but you did stop everybody out of here. So we'll see if that weekly kicks in. If you go to AMC for the apes, RevStrat 1-2 weaker. If they want to bring her back, we're not leaving style. GameStonk, you can always watch the memes. Also a weekly hammer. So we'll see if the memes want to make a fight back coming into Christmas. If you go to CLF, you're also going to have a RevStrat here. 1-2. Once again, not doing too much on the month. But we got that RevStrat set up on the weekly. If you go to DraftKings, also inside week pokes down. Potential RevStrat setup here above that. 30.49. You can watch that with Penn Gaming, which wasn't quite inside, but you got your hammer counter shooter if we want to go gambling on some sports. If we go to Ford Motor Company, you got a 3-1 weaker. And we know we're running out of time on that 2-2 monther. It's closer to taking out the bottom side, but we'll see. Ford right now on the month, just kind of sitting here, so be aware of that. But you do have that 3-1 to mind. If you go to IIPR, IIPR on the week takes that week down, and on that month, they're still 3-2 down on the month, IIPR. If you go to INMD, and INMD, red on the month, having a rough pullback here after a huge inside year to the upside, but now your RevStrat to the upside if they want to try and recover this thing coming into the new week. If you go to RNG, also RevStrat setup, 1-2, if they want to bring back, to try and come back through this range. SE, Not too much going on here, but you do have, they've hit this thing pretty hard, and to start off the week, you do have the potential 3-2-2 if they want to start rallying this thing back and hit pretty hard. So we'll see what comes of that Monday. And Tesla's. And Tesla's potential the 3-2-2 day if they want to bring her back up. Or, we've been minding this, the 2-2 reversal month here below this, as Mr. Musk continues to dump 978.60. So that's still good. So like I said, exhaustion month, year, we're coming to the end of the year. Holiday market might dry up a little bit. We'll see how that goes. Like I said, I'm going to take off next week, and then we will resume with the weekend video and the macro video to start off the new year, because we always know there's a couple real humdingers that come through that macro vid. That's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith, the Smith in the Black, with the weekend vid.